Clancorla, the Taoiseach says that the government are getting out of this PPP arrangement for the Thornton Hall project because of concerns about value for money. These concerns by the government about value for money on this project are coming very late. And I would suggest, Taoiseach, that you're desperately now playing catch-up on the value for money issue. Just 3 weeks ago, April 22nd, my colleagues, Deputy Rabbitte and Deputy Mary Upton, asked the Minister for Justice about this project. Deputy Upton's question asked specifically if the Minister was had satisfied himself regarding the capacity of the preferred bidder to deliver this project. And the Minister told her that negotiations with the preferred bidder are currently at an advanced stage. Now, a few weeks later, we're told that the Irish Prison Service has discontinued that arrangement for reasons of value for money. This side of the House has been telling you, since this project was initiated, that there were questions about value for money on this project. And when we raised it in 2005, for example, the then Minister for Justice, Minister McDowell, told us, he says, "I am confident that in 5 or 7 years, when the full campus at Thornton is completed, the Irish public will look back on these days and be grateful for the foresight and leadership the government has shown." Well, now, yes, where is Thornton, and where is Thornton Hall now? We already know that the cost of Thornton Hall to date is about 41 million between the cost of the site, the cost of buying up the extra piece of land for the road, and the cost of the professional fees and the site works, including landscaping, that has been taking place on the site. In addition to that, Taoiseach, we have to add in the 26 million that was paid for this site, the old cash and carry site, which is adjoining Mountjoy Prison. 26 million which was paid for a 2-acre site beside Mountjoy Prison in 2007, in anticipation that Mountjoy would be closing down and moving out to Thornton Hall, and that site would be redeveloped. You should remember this particular one, because I understand that as Minister for Finance, you approved the payment of the 26 million for this 2-acre site. That site now is locked up. The plan was that there was going to be a great development of a new commercial village on the site of the old Mountjoy prison when it moved out to Thornton Hall. Now we're told that the plan for Thornton Hall is awaiting some new proposals from the Minister for Justice. Can I ask you, firstly, what is the alternative method by which the Thornton Hall project is now going to be advanced? And secondly, Minister McDowell anticipated that the completion date for the entire project in Thornton Hall would be 2010, 2012 at the latest. What is the target date now for the completion of Thornton Hall, if indeed it will be built at all? Well, first of all, the Taoiseach has made a couple of references to the prudence of the financial arrangements for Thornton Hall and how it was all purchased from the sale of the land in Shangana. I know the land in Shangana, it's in my constituency. There was a prison there, prison for juvenile boys, and you closed it down. It's not the kind of facility that I would have thought deserved to be closed down, particularly in these times, but you closed it down. And you should stop pretending that there's some kind of a big saving to the state in this. That land was sold to the local authority. I mean, it's one arm of the public purse selling to another. So don't pretend that there was big savings on that. In relation to the discontinuation of the arrangement with the preferred bidder, why was that suddenly brought to a halt when only a couple of weeks ago I was going to say the Taoiseach probably has aspirations in that direction, all right. The Minister for Justice was telling us that these negotiations were at an advanced stage. I mean, 12 months ago to the day, one of the principals involved in this consortium pulled out of the PPP arrangement for urban renewal in Dublin. And we at that time, I recall raising with you, and I recall my colleagues, Deputy Costello and Deputy Shortall, Deputy Upton, raising with government at that time what the implications of that were for Thornton Hall. And you were telling us everything was fine. So this was flagged well in advance that there was a problem here, and yet it has come suddenly to a halt now. Now, you've told us a lot about the process by which it was arrived at. But what I want to know is, what is now going to happen with Thornton Hall? I mean, you've told us you're going to build something on it, and the Minister for Justice is going to come forward with some kind of a proposal on it. Are you going to go ahead with a prison on the same scale that was originally intended? Do you intend to use substantially the same design? Is it intended now to proceed with that project by PPP with another bidder, or is it intended to go ahead with it by way of direct provision? What is the plan for Thornton Hall? And I ask you again, when will it start, and when do you now anticipate that Thornton Hall will be completed?